Howdy folks, and welcome back. I'm out here mowing today, doing one of my annual fuel mod contracts. This afternoon I'm going to have a little bit of time. We're going to dive back into the D4-7U and see if we can't get the thing to run. I have high hopes. I had to pull the magneto off again. I thought it was a good one. Apparently it wasn't. I'm really having a hard time keeping that thing sparking. So we're diving into it this afternoon and see what we can do. So here we are, top of the engine. Notice no manifold or no intake pipe coming from the intake manifold over to the dashboard. No air cleaner. Had to take all of that off to get the magneto out. So of course got to stand here on the tracks, and I've already fallen off this thing twice now, so I'm batting 0 for 3. So if you look in here, magneto sits in that hole. In the front, there's a pipe plug. Looks like that. There's a guy on YouTube by the name of Squatch, I believe it's 253. Super knowledgeable dude when it comes to the technical details of actually doing this stuff. Showed me some tricks way back when I first got into these cats on how to time them and, you know, set some of the stuff up, which makes it significantly easier. Well, inside that hole, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to get in there with the camera. There's a little mark in there that says M on the gear, and that stands for magneto. So you line that tooth up vertically. Now, with that up vertically, you've got your magneto here, which tight fit. Well, you've also got an M on the magneto in the notch part, stamped it above a notch instead of above a tooth. So we set it so it's vertically down like that because the M is on the top of the gear on the bottom. Put that guy in there just like that. And yeah, this is hard to do one-handed, so bear with me, folks. In theory, this pony motor now is timed properly. Well, it's at least what I'm supposed to be believing. But we're gonna find out. I can't imagine doing this with tools of the day. That would have been miserable. We've got fancy flex head ratchets and tight angle stuff and good flashlights. I can't even wrap my head around how the old guys did it. If any of you are out there, my hat's off to you. All right, that baby's tight. Magneto's installed. Now, just gonna put a little bit of stuff here in the holes for all the bolts, so that way when they go back in, just makes our lives a little bit easier. Here's the plug wires and one of the plugs. Put that guy back in because we know that plug works now because we tested it. Used it just to test the magneto and made sure everything was functioning properly, and I think we got somewhere with it. I think I cut this plug wire just a little bit too long, but you know what? I'll make it work. If I have to trim it down, solder a new end on, I will. I don't like to do these things halfway. All right, plug wires fed through. Made new plug wires for it at the same time. I'm done messing around. We got a show coming up in 2 days, and I'll be damned. I want to take this thing out there and see what it'll do. Been very anxious. I put a penetrating oil. I use PB Blaster, WD-40 Croil. I'm not really particular on what, but every one of the bolts, when I put them back together, I always, at a good measure, will spray a little bit in the threads. Helps everything go back together nicely, and God forbid I have to pull it back apart. Makes my life a lot easier. That being said, that's installed. All right, now comes the fun. The intake tube. And that's right here. Gaskets are still good and intact because we just put all that on there. Just hit all these studs real quick with a little bit of penetrating oil. And this Caro Pack gasket material, I actually will hit it sometimes with a little bit, especially if it's dry out, dry climate like we have here. That's a necessity. Get everything lubed back up again. Oh, almost forgot. The infamous kill switch wire. Put that on there before I forget, because once you put this tube on, you can't access any of this. Okay, this goes through like this. Okay, but wait, there's more. Let's get that lined up. Bam, there she is. Everything's seated nicely. All right, now we got the tubes that go between this air tube and the block of the pony motor. So before you bolt anything down, you got to put all of those in position. And you got to get them somehow aligned. I often will use a screwdriver because that seems to be the best. You can use the bolt, whatever you got available to you. Sometimes something smaller than the bolt helps to line it up. Kind of going with a different trend with this video, more of the wrenching part, the hands-on, what it takes to actually do this. Let us know what you think. We're going to try to start this thing here in a few minutes. We've got a little bit of daylight left, and I'm going to chase it all the way down. Because if I can make this run, that's going to set the tone for the weekend. Some people get excited about going to football games. Some people get excited about going to parties and going to the bar, hanging out with their friends. I get excited about going to tractor shows. But we do go out there to hang out with our friends. It's a good bit of camaraderie. Boom, that's tight, those are tight, those are tight. Mags in, mags tight. Okay, next, hang the air cleaner. My favorite part. Because as you can guess, they're nice and light. Gotta be a bit of a contortionist here. Boom, there it is. So again, more penetrating oil. It's just better to have everything oiled up. When I'm working on the painted stuff, I have to be a little bit more careful, but when it's rusty and patina, gotta give a little help lasting through the long haul. It's lasted this long. It's up to me to be its steward for this lifetime. Okay, one of the last steps in this is to not fall off the track. Actually, that's the second to last step. First step too. Failed that one already. There it is. Starter button. Yep, we got a new shiny one. Had to. And this switch probably won't last nearly as long as the old one did, and it probably will be absolutely dismal performance because that's what all the new parts are like these days. But you know what? We're grateful that we can still keep these things running, and that's all I'm looking at. But yeah, you'll end up changing those out once a year, especially if they sit outside. They just don't make stuff like they did in the old days, that's for sure. Let's gather up all of my worldly possessions here, and we're going to reposition things. Let's see if this thing's going to start. Shall we see what happens? Let's cross our fingers here and see if we can't get this pony motor to pop. All right. Get throttle out a little bit. Choke. Switch on. Compression release in the start position. Put her in neutral. Okay, I've already checked all the fluids and everything. Gotta spin the petcock on for the gas. Yes, it does have a gas valve on the dashboard, which is really neat, but an absolute nightmare to change the lines on. Ask me how I know. All right, now we've let the float bowl fill up. In theory, it should start. Let's see what happens. No way. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so we're just gonna play it safe here and leave that disconnected. Maybe that's that kill switch wire. Oh, we had something. Timing's off. Easily fixed. Switch the plug wires around here. Sometimes when they won't pop, that's what you got to do. But we're getting something out of it, which is more than we've got so far. Ow, that's really hot. Oh, that's promising. Let's hook the kill switch back up. Oh boy, we got a little bit of an oil leak. Good thing we caught that. Woo, buddy. That would have been bad. The trials and tribulations of this freaking tractor. Oh yeah. Okay, so my initial fear was it was the pony motor. So first thing I went for, kill the pony. So, come to find out, it looks like it's that little guy right there that goes to the gauge. Explains why I wasn't seeing any lube oil pressure on the gauge. All right, well, I'm gonna tend to that real quick and then we'll give it another shot. Okay, after that little oil leak, that was a little spooky. So, yeah, let's not do that again. Turns out, previous party left a line loose underneath what goes to the oil pressure gauge, so fortunately, that was an easy fix. Tighten it back up, seal it, should be good. Check the level, everything seems up there. Granted, we're going to change all the fluids in this thing anyway. Just want to get it running first. So, now it's time to go. Let's see what she does. Would you looky there, folks? She's mint. Don't mind the oil, that's from earlier's little mess. Holy smokes. She runs. It's alive. Oh look, my sunglasses. Better get those before I forget. Whew. Man. Smells like a cat. A good cat, that is. All right, looks like we're taking her to the show. All right, I'm gonna take it for a quick spin. I'll change the view here and we'll do our first drive. At first glance, this left track immediately needs attention. We're gonna have to tighten that thing up a little bit, especially for the weekend. Other than that, tighten the tracks up, change the oil, send it.